Now here's one that I don't agree with. Truth number 6. Networking is not as important as you think it is. Well, I think it's very important. Why do you say it's not as important as you think it is?
Because it's much more important than you think it is.
Oh, got me.
People have told me that networking is something I just do when I'm between jobs, or networking is not something I do because I'm not good at it and I'm not comfortable with it. They brush it off. You can't do that. It's an essential ingredient of any professional's career success. So if you don't know how to network, learn. If you're uncomfortable with it, get comfortable with it. This is not optional in my world.
Good. And truth number 7, if you're not managing your career, nobody is. How true. I did hear someone say that I asked them who was responsible for their career, and what would you say, who is responsible for people's career? Is it their manager, their HR professional? Who's responsible for one's career?
Think back to our parents' day. You know, they had the same job for 30 or 40 years. Who was responsible? Their manager, the HR department, or personnel as they used to call it. That's who would chart your career. That's where you would see your career progression coming from. In other words, it wasn't your responsibility, it was theirs. Sounds good, except that you had no power and no control. So it's not that good, really. In today's world, it's not the HR manager, it's not the recruiter, it's you and only you. If you're not managing your career, no one's managing your career. I've had people say to me, well, I never worry about that because every time I'm out of work, I just call a couple of recruiters and they get me a job. No, that's absolving yourself of responsibility. That's handing off the entire management of your career to somebody else. That's really it just doesn't cut it.
Where can people go to learn how to better manage their career?
Well, there's any number of resources. On our own website, careerpotential.com, we have many, many resources, articles, assessments, videos, audios, but that's just one resource. Think about LinkedIn. Think about the other job-related websites, job search clubs, job search groups, college career placement offices. I could go on and on. There's no shortage of resources and support.
If you were to add truth number 8 instead of only having 7 truths, what would that number 8 be?
I would say that something people really, really need to keep in mind is that you have a job and the company owns that job. They can take this job away anytime they want, but you own your career. No one can ever take your career away. You need to manage it, nourish it, grow it, keep it going as long as you can, be as successful as you possibly can, get as much satisfaction and gratification from it as you can. It's yours, you own it, but it's also your responsibility to manage it and grow it and face that big truth of career success.
Now, one question that came to mind when you said that is, when do you know it's time to change jobs? For example, if you've been at a job 15, 16 years, and you may feel like you've topped out, but hey, I only need 5 more years, should you then try to move, or what do you recommend? I mean, when do you know it's time to move on? When should you move to another position?
Well, every case is different. The type of question you're asking is a case-by-case, one-on-one situation. I don't think there's any hard, fast rules for that. Every case needs to be looked at individually. This would be a great time to talk to a career coach, someone who can give you some perspective or objectivity and give you the proper guidance.